Hello, YouTube. This is Stash back with his forbidden blog. I'm going to be doing a series of book reviews. Tonight will be kind of short, but I'm starting off a series of book reviews on, I don't know if you can see here, The Carnivals of Life and Death. Okay. My Profane Youth. 1913 to 1935 is the weird to tremendously weird, check out this book cover, it's weird, book of James Shelby Downard, considered by some one of the best researchers, conspiracy men ever. Carnivals of Life and Death is one of the weirdest books I've ever read. Published by Adam Palfrey, may he rest in peace. Cool guy, publisher. There's a movie out now, Lords of Chaos, and his publishing company published that. Also extremely interesting, weird book on heavy metal with Macaulay Culkin. The Home Alone guy is acting in it about Norwegian death metal. They burnt down churches and stuff, and they were suicidal. Hardcore, heavy metal, intense guys up there. He published that book, Lords of Chaos, which is a movie going on right now. I wonder if they'll ever do a movie about James Shelby Downard. It's probably too weird. So Carnivals in Life and Death is the story of his life. He claims that his family was, as a young boy, attempting to basically ritually sacrifice him, and he managed to elude being killed in all sorts of ways. Forgive me, I got some notes on this because it's complex. He claims his folks were part of a Masonic-like secret organization known as the Eulus, E-L-U-S, the Elected. And he derived the name of the book title from a couple of books he was reading. Demons in High Places by William Tyndale, and The Labyrinth by Paul Hervieu. Forgive me, I usually don't go from notes, and lately I've been doing it. It's been kind of screwing up my vlogs, but I've been trying to engage in increasingly complex topics, and this book is actually, it's fun, but it's complex. Downard claims that he's talking about American magic, basically American sorcery. He was interested in two aspects of American sorcery, what he names as American sorcery as map magic of toponymy, and name magic. So like he'd be saying, like, the word Mozart, the name of Mozart would be Mo-Oz Art. Mo, and then Oz is the word power in Hebrew, and then art, for instance. And that he himself was a form of a pharmakos. In Greek, that's a scapegoat, I guess. People, not just in secret organizations, but I think long ago civilizations believed that they could sacrifice the goats. The scapegoat is allegedly a sort of a Masonic term. It's also involving the Ku Kluxers. The Ku Kluxers. I think people just think of that as racial stuff, the very nasty group Ku Klux Klan, but apparently he contends that they were involved in, as with magically as well, which makes sense. He talks about radio telemetry, remote monitoring, and so this goes way back. He's contending that they understood about bioelectrical radiant energy, telepathy, telekinesis, and psychokinesis, which is weird because obviously if you follow my strange vlog, I was going over my take on sending a message to people via chi energy, which a lot of people will think I'm crazy talking about that, but that's what this vlog is, man. I talk about forbidden stuff. Apparently my vlog is so obscure that nobody really cares. Give me a thumbs up, will you? So, I've talked about James Shelby. I've got a couple of, I'll leave it in the line notes. I've got a couple of my weird slideshow things that maybe you guys have seen if you check out this channel. I do with the music, and it's just I just throw up tons of obscure pictures, and there's a number of them by Downard, King Kill 33, which is also a song by the famous rock artist Marilyn Manson, which I think he was heavily influenced by that work, because he's got a lot of Kennedy references, and Charles Manson is also evidently involved in occult ritual, murder, and weird stuff. So the Eulists. So throughout this book, Carnivals of Life and Death, Downard contends that there's a higher group, presumably not even just Masonic or whatever, but a secret combination that he contends that there's rituals that take place in right in front of the American people that they unknowingly partake in, which would be very conspiracy minded, but nevertheless very interesting. And he, I mean, we all might agree that America now, and has been for a long time, the Circus Maximus, the bread in circus, is an incredible amount of entertainment that continues to get more and more wild as the decades pass. So I'm just going to do a short vlog tonight on this, but I'm going to be doing more series on this. Again, I was sad to hear that the publisher Adam passed away. Wish I got to meet him. So he indicates there are in Europe and the United States practices of a high level Solomonic magic. And again, it's interesting because he discusses this bioelectric radiant energy, which is related to the famous I think he was an Illuminist as well, of the famous, now very famous, infamous, because of Dan Brown and David Icke and the internet, the Illuminati, Anton Mesmer, animal magnetism, and but to go back to him and Carnivals in Life and Death, is a story where he grew up when again he claims that his family was out to ritually sacrifice him, which is heavy, and he he didn't have any many friends at the time. Couldn't trust his family. And his writing is very convincing thus far that there was a kind of a secret cabal against him. At the first, on the opening chapters, that he's gonna be, he eludes being killed. He's tied up. He is a young kid, and he removes the gun from one of the deputies. The deputy is trying to order to get him with some other guys, and he, defends himself. I don't want to ruin every aspect, but just safe to say he eludes it, and the deputy is sort of in on it, and he finds out there's this cabal against him. So I'll go into more detail. That again, I don't want to give away the whole story, but his depiction of what went down seems pretty realistic. So again, I'm doing a short blog tonight, but I'll leave you off with this. At the next segment, he ends up at Jekyll Island, where the Federal Reserve was founded, I believe in 1913. And he confronts Alexander Graham Bell, and he's sort of giving the idea that, Bell was part of this group of involved in American magic and sorcery. And he, in it, has to do with, aspects of mind control and mesmerism energy. So this is just part one. Again, Carnival of Life and Death. Get it? If you're craving some weird stuff. So this is just going to be part one of this extremely complex, convoluted, but ultimately incredibly interesting book review, I hope, for you. This is Stash. Like and share, man. Sorry I was rambling on a little bit, but I wanted to jump into this to almost force myself to get into part 2 and 3. Still have to finish up my one on The Prisoner, which nobody really checked out. But hey, I still have to complete part 2 of that one as well. Alright, this has been Stash. Hear me now, believe me later. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Ciao.